When I was a freshman, high school, my boy Mike Green ain't in here. We was in the same class together. It was like this English class where we learning about different books and shit like that. And our teacher, his name was Mr. Ganley. He was a cool ass teacher. One of the coolest teachers at that school. Cool as a motherfucker. For some reason, in his classroom, every time I had his class, he would always have an assistant teacher in there. He really didn't need one because he was a amazing ass teacher himself. Like, you know how you got them good ass teachers that you can listen to them and you actually learning just by how they teach. Was
he like really old or some shit?
No, he was a young dude.
I say y'all should have just told that you don't need no assistant, bro.
We used to. I used to tell like, why do you need a? But this assistant, I wasn't mad at because she was bad as a motherfucker. I'ma just call her Miss Jackson. She was light skinned, she had an afro, and she was thick as fuck, bro. And she used to literally like flirt with the students. She'd walk up and be like, "How you doing? Let me get a hug," type shit.
Oh.
Poke that, all kind of ill shit. We was all in that bitch like, damn. She was bad as a motherfucker, bro. She used to wear these tight ass dresses and shit. Ass be poking out. She was the assistant teacher for the freshman class I had with Ganley. I only had him twice. I had him my freshman year and my senior year. I got another funny ass story with that Ganley too. But she was the assistant teacher for that semester, right? And this, the book she decided to read to us was the Superhead book.
I just even have access to that shit.
Was the Superhead book, bro. And the class, it was majority made up of males. It was some females in the class, but it was majority made up of males. And every time she had come in that we are always try to sit next to her ass. Right? So, nigga move,
Oh, of
nigga,
course,
type shit.
Of course.
Because his desk was by a student desk. I don't really know how to explain it, but it was off to the corner type shit. And you would have a set of desks by his desk, and then it was another set of desks across the room. So me, my homies, we used to we was already over there in that section. And my other homie, Chris, he used to sit next to her all the time because that's where his seat was. He wasn't trying to get that shit up neither. He was like, nah. So shit. She used to literally sit in that motherfucker and read us the Superhead book. And when it get to the parts where she talking about how Superhead used to suck dick and all, she'll read it slow. It was a portion of that book.
Why was that even allowed, bro?
This is what I'm like looking like as I'm older now. That shit was totally out of bounds, bro. No way should you be reading that shit. No way. I think that's why she got fired because around like later on in the semester, we was like, where's she at? I think they fired her ass. But when it got to because it was a portion of that book where Superhead she was in a relationship with Cool G Rap. And she was basically saying that he sexually assaulted her and shit. And it was a part of the book where Kareen Steffens was like talking about the sex she used to have with him. And it was a sentence, I'll never forget it. Miss Jackson, she reading that motherfucker. She will read it slowly and seductive. Have her legs crossed. You can see her thighs and shit. She used to have a dress. You could see her thigh meat. She knew what the she was doing. And I sucked his for 4 hours. We all up in that motherfucker like, word? You did what?
Bro, I already feel the girls in that class.
The girls was like this. They was like, what the f?
The girls are probably the one who said something and got her fired.
They probably was, now that I think about it. Because that shit was because she did what for 4 hours? She was just sitting there reading the Superhead book, bro. It was crazy. I'm not making it up. I'm dead serious. I wish my Mike Green was in this motherfucker, bro. I was like, wow. She used to time to read Superhead. Why are we reading this?
Story time, boys.
That's exactly what it was. She had come in that motherfucker, bro, tight ass dress. She was bad. Like I said, she was bad as had a natural afro. She was like, y'all ready to read? All us. Nigga, get next to Miss. And Chris, the one with the dreads.
Oh, please tell me you've like seen her some.
I haven't.
Like since then, like internet or something. Have you seen?
Nope. I have not.
And that was over a decade ago.
Yeah, this was back when I was a freshman in high school. Couldn't believe it. But that's one of the reasons why we never learned shit in our public schools.
That was the reason we never learned shit.
We had a teacher, like I said, Mr. Ganley, who actually taught, who actually could teach. And they would let these assistant teachers come in there and just ruin the shit. Because how the fuck do you make To Kill a Mockingbird interesting? He made that shit interesting, bro. That's how good of a teacher he was. Like, we were actually in that motherfucker learning shit with him, but then you bring this bitch in here and she talk reading Superhead? What are we supposed to learn from this? The art of sucking.
I mean, y'all was more entertained by the Superhead shit than To Kill a Mockingbird.
But yeah, we was kids though, bro. We was kids.
Entertained by that, so there you go.
So like if I was how I was now, I would have been like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. We was all kid, horny as a young, horny as a motherfucker shit. She used to hug us randomly. She would see us in the hallway, give me a hug. My Mike Green said one time, he said he had her doing summer school. And she would literally like, do you need some help? This nigga said, bro, she literally put her titties on the back of his neck. I believe him. Because she was flirty with the male students. He was like, bro, she put her clean back in my motherfucking neck, bro.
Oh,
I was like, you lucky son of a bitch. I had her.
That nigga was asking for help on every property shit.
On me. That's what he was. I used to drop my pencil. I need help, Miss Jackson. Hood schools, bro. There you go.